What up, New Gaming Order? We back like the Juggernaut bitch for the last podcast for August 2015. Yes.
And for all you school age kids listening, it's school time.
And he has to be the Grinch. Alright, so New Gaming Order, we back, and obviously, shout out to Nelson, NYC Playboy. They're out on their ventures, taking care of some business. So let's pray for their safe travels and returning home. So we value all our New Gaming Order members. I also want to welcome the Mizzle from Free Play Mode as a guest on the show today, and we're gonna start doing our introduction, starting with On Your Knees. What's going on, and how was your week, man?
Yeah, same shit, different day. What can I say?
Oh, nice rhyme. Haha. All right.
I've been saying that for years, but I got nothing.
Okay, cool.
That's what I
got. Unbelievable. You are best. All right, Takuma, opening remarks before we get started.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Shit Takuma. Streaming a lot more than expected, so get at me.
Alright, cool. And last but not least, the Mizzle Free Play Mode opening remarks.
Oh, Shinwar's here. Hold on.
What the heck?
Oh,
wait a minute. Alright, well, the Mizzle continue, and then Shinwar will get him.
Damn, we got Shinwar popping up like a secret character out this piece.
Unbelievable character unlocked. Alright, Divizzle, continue.
What's going on, New Gaming Order people and Free Play Mode people? Because I know they listen to this podcast because I've been informed of that. Just want to say what's going on to everybody out there, and for all you school age kids out there, it's back to school time. Got to get your study on. I'm trying to be inspirational here.
Tag. Hit him with the boo. Alright. Tag.
I thought you fell out of school on your knees.
Or repeating a grade or something. Unbelievable. Tag.
That's right, I flunked out of college. What are you going to say about that?
No comment. Unbelievable. It's Shinwar. Open it. I'm done. Alright, and Shinwar, opening comments, man. Welcome.
I'm trying to eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No. What's up, everybody? It's Thursday, August 27th. We got a lot to talk about today, especially in regards to Street Fighter 5. So,
of course,
yeah,
of course. All right. Let's get started. New Gaming Order. First topic down the chute, and the way I want to lead into this. Okay, if you have certain multiplayer games where people stream Gears of War, Street Fighter, Halo, those competition games where hey, it's never really played the same way twice. Now the issue going on here is Sony and the most recent release, Until Dawn, is a story-driven game. Now, Review Tech has spoken about this, and other YouTubers have spoken about this, where it's kind of like, those who are doing Let's Plays of games that are story-driven, they got to be a little bit careful with that, because Sony took it to the next level. They went Gohan's Super Saiyan 2, and they started blocking streams of that game from that's native from the PlayStation 4. So my thing is, I just wanted to know what the panel thought about that, where games that are story driven, if somebody just watched a Let's Play and like, I'm not gonna get the game anymore because I already watched it. Do you agree with Sony's act on blocking this game from being streamed from the console? I want to start with On Your Knees first. Yeah, your thoughts. Like, is it Sony trying to protect their game, or is it something where they're just going a bit overzealous?
Normally, I would say be all against this, but to give Sony credit for story-heavy games, I'm getting some echo from someone else.
Yeah, I'm getting it too.
But anyway, for story-heavy games, they do have a point, because there are games, especially in the point-and-click adventure games, kind of like King's Quest. I didn't really want to do too much. You know, you do the first few chapters or something like that. That's fine. But it's when you start to get the spoiler heavy sections of the game that, you know, you tend to lose the value, because in story-driven games, especially if the gameplay's not that good and you're playing for the actual story, I can understand where they're coming from. Now, I don't really want to see this stuff restricted, but I understand where Sony's coming from. So I'm just going to be like, Sony's business. That's up to them.
And you know what? I have to say, I agree with Sony on this one. And you know how I'm so, like, with some of their stuff, but with this, I believe they're just protecting, like, spoilers and plot twists. Like, if something, like, out of nowhere, you know, you're like, oh my god. Especially, like, a good example. If you take The Darkness, that first-person shooter comic book game, where somebody dies in there out of nowhere, you know what I mean? And if a player sees that on a Let's Play, and then they play the game themselves, they already lost that surprise, that pop factor, you know? So it's just, I think that streaming, like especially very early on, for story-driven games, should be held at a minimum. And I do agree with Sony on this, and it is what it is. So I mean, Chris, you can round up, and then I'll move on to Demizzle.
I'm still upset that I still never beat The Darkness, because my copies of the game were busted on my Xbox. But
well, if it becomes backwards compatible, it could be time. But I'm telling you, Chris, you're missing out. The Darkness 1 and 2, excellent games, man.
I tried, but you remember you told me it was I had the certain type of Xbox, a certain drive that caused that game to crash at that same spot every time. But anyway, yeah.
All right.
I don't hold it against Sony for this one. And neither does Alex, which was really a surprise.
Yeah, you know what? Again, I don't always agree with Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo, and I call it like Sony. I think they're right for this. It's a story-driven. It's a story-driven game, huh?
I missed the chance to do that when you first said it.
Unbelievable.
I was expecting you to go that way.
No comment. All right, Demizzle, what are your thoughts on Sony going this way with protecting the story of Until Dawn?
Well, I will readily admit that I've been watching a Let's Play, like just a straight Let's Play of a story-driven game, and I've been like, I've seen the story, and it's not very gameplay heavy, so
yeah.
After I've seen the story, I've made a conscious decision not to purchase the game. So, if you're doing a straight Let's Play with no commentary over it, I have to agree with Sony on this and other game developers. Like, especially if you're doing it stupidly doing it from the system and don't own like an Elgato or a.
The HD60 is what they should be using.
Yeah, like, because they can't block that, but if you're doing it from the system, yeah, you deserve to get blocked. But if it's just if you're doing, like, say it's just us and we're playing a game and we're commenting over it, no, they don't have the right to block that, because even though they may be we may be spoiling the game, we're still doing a commentary / review over the game. And people may want to hear our insight in order, like, our take on what's going on in the game, rather than just, okay, I'm just sitting here watching the game being played. Like, let's take, for instance, like, if I were to watch a Let's Play of Batman Arkham Asylum, and I would go out and still buy that game and play it, because my gameplay experience would be totally different from the person playing it that I watched, because even though Batman Arkham Asylum is a story-based driven game, it also has a lot of gameplay heavy elements in the game, and my gameplay would be totally different from what I watched. Whereas a game like Fatal Frame and Until Darkness, it would be the same gameplay experience for pretty much 99.9% of everybody out there.
And with Arkham Knight, with that, you know, games like GTA, open world games, no two people will play it the same. You know, and I remember Yu Suzuki said back in the day, where Shenmue, no two people will have the same exact experience. Like, somebody might go and do something at a different time of the day, triggering a different domino effect of events that may take them completely on a different path. Hell, you had Guardian Heroes like that. Demizzle introduced me to that game back on the Sega Saturn, where, hey, you fought a certain way, you can get Super Han with his powered up sword, similar to what the Golden Warrior was using. You know what I mean? So, I get why Sony did this, and you know, this is a first. I just, you know, some folks gotta like think these studios, they gotta survive somehow. You know what I mean?
But
and yeah,
I just want to throw one additional caveat in there. I think we have moved beyond the days of a straight narrative game. As a main release, like companies should not be releasing $60 games that just have a straight narrative and nothing else.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
Like games like Until Dawn should be like downloadable titles that are like $20-$25. Like then I could justify like spoiling it and just doing a straight playthrough of it. But if it's a $60 game and you're doing just a straight story heavy narrative game with very little gameplay, that's on the studio and the publisher for
okay, makes sense.
Game.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, like the order and things like that, you know, it's just, that's it. It's just like on rails. It goes, it's, you know, the experience doesn't change, you know. So all right, for the sake of time, Shin Takuma, what are your thoughts on Sony going this route to protect the story for Until Dawn by blocking streams from Twitch, the Twitch app within the system?
I agree with everybody. I don't think they want to spoil, you know, the game as far as it's being played out by other people streaming it, because it may rob the people who doesn't have it yet. You know, be like, oh, well, I watched it on Twitch and everything else when I saw why.
But that's their fault though. If they know they want the game and then they're gonna sit there, well, I'm gonna watch it, and then, you know, like.
True. I mean, it is their fault if they like. Okay, well, yeah, you know, let's go ahead and, you know, everything else. It is their fault, but you know, now they're talking about blocking it. So obviously, there's something else about the game they don't want us to know.
Probably plot twist. That's the only thing I can really think about when it comes to that.
It has an ending on the same level as Mass Effect 3. That's what they're hiding.
Oh, that's not a good thing. Because yeah, they got their behind spooned out pretty bad over that. So EA, don't do it. Don't do it. So all right. So moving on, Shinwar, your thoughts on Sony going directly through the console to block streaming of Until Dawn, which is a story based or heavily story driven game?
I agree with you guys.
What the heck?
That's it.
Unbelievable. You know what? No comment.
It's like, I agree with you guys.
But you know what? In all fairness, like, you know,
you flipped some hair out of your face when you said that, Shinwar. I agree with you guys.
Unbelievable. You know what? Alright, but with that, you know, in conclusion to this segment, it's just, there's just certain games that's their selling point. They're trying to sell a story and you're giving it out for free. It's like you can equate it to streaming a boxing pay-per-view or WWE pay-per-view, and that's like, you know, how you're stealing money out of their pockets. You know, it's one thing to pirate a game, but you know, you're exposing everything. It's like, you know, that borderlines, you know, putting movies on Pirates Bay or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. So with that, I agree with Sony. I kind of cringe at the thought that they could have that much control over your console, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to do the right thing for their product. So, anybody has any alibis before we start checking the chat for comments?
No, I've said what I've had to say.
Well, all right. Oh, shout out to Snake.
Not me to put that on there.
What the heck? You know what? No comment. And shout out to Snake2243 in the chat. And the rest of those, the folks, you know, I'm just trying to keep it in a short time frame. So make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Newgamingorder.com. Make sure you also check out Free Play Mode's channel for our YouTube folks as we break up the segment. Those of you who are in the chat, stay tuned as we go into intermission. For the rest of the folks on YouTube, make sure you check out our next segment, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.